Hi, this is Dr. Justin here, and today's talk is on the China study. I get questions about the study all the time. Is meat bad? Will meat cause cancer? Why do you recommend so much meat in your diets? So again, let's talk about that. So the China study is kind of broken into a couple different areas. We have the China study book, and it's important to note the book is absolutely nothing. It's totally different and segregated compared to what the study and what Colin Campbell's research is. Just to keep that clear. So the book and the studies are two different things. So first things first, Colin Campbell's early research, he extrapolated that protein causes cancer by a rat study. And what he found was when protein levels were at 20%, cancer genes were on and these rats would get cancer. The next, when they decreased the protein down to 5%, these rats would no longer get cancer. So he assumed, hey, what we're seeing is cancer levels at 20% is going to turn cancer genes on. Cancer levels at 5% actually turns them off. The only problem is he was basically giving these rats casein proteins. Casein is found in dairy, but in dairy is also an anti-cancer protein known as whey. So normally we get exposed to these in nature, we get both at the same time. So there would be the anti-cancer effects of casein would be offset by the anti-cancer effects of whey. So in nature we never get exposed to casein by itself. And I agree with Campbell. I'm not a big fan of casein protein. I think it can be very inflammatory and gut irritating. That's why if I recommend any dairy at all, it would be raw, unpasteurized dairy where you're getting the enzymes and you're getting all the proteins in their healthy form along with whey. But in general, I agree with him. My biggest beef with him is the fact that you're not going to be getting exposed to casein like that in nature, and you can't go now and extrapolate, well, casein caused cancer at these levels, all meat causes cancer at these levels. You're extrapolating to the umpteenth degree saying now, okay, grass-fed meat. Now we're not even differentiating, is it organic, is it grass-fed, is it antibiotic-free, hormone-free, was it fed GMO food? There are so many variables and factors, and for him to say that, in my opinion, it's very unscientific because there are many different variables that affect the nutrient levels of the food. Is it grass-fed organic? How about lamb, beef, eggs, poultry, fish? And to go and say that because this study with the casein and these rats showed this, we're going to extrapolate that all cancer is caused by these proteins, that's just preposterous. The next research Campbell did was different epidemiological studies. He gave different surveys through regions throughout China to fill out. And based on his data, he came up with the conclusion that animal products cause cancer based on these epidemiological research. Well, the first thing first, epidemiological research can only build a hypothesis. I propose. The big issue is that the fact he has to now have a clinical trial to now test this hypothesis. So what he's doing is coming out with epidemiological research that says one thing, and then he's saying, well, that's it, it's conclusion. And it's not. The epidemiological research only now says we have to do a study now. We have to do a clinical trial to now support this and see if this comes out the way that we think it did based on our surveys. Denise Minger did a great job on this, so feel free and go to rawfoodsos.com. She did 40 or 50 different pages on this, kind of breaking down all the data and all the research, and it actually doesn't even show exactly what he said. If you go through her literature, she actually shows that grains are actually proven to be pro-cancer as well. Another scenario there. So cutting grains out of the diet can be an excellent thing to help produce cancer, as well as refined carbohydrates and sugar. So my beef is the fact that, one, we have to differentiate what kind of meats are we talking about here. Are we talking about organic, grass-fed, pesticides, chemicals, hormones? What's the quality of it? We have to differentiate. All right? And two, we need to not throw the baby out with the bathwater. All right? Research, epidemiological research, first brings a hypothesis, and now we have to test that in a feeding study, and that research has not been done. But we have lots of people go around. This is their essentially the foundation in which all of their evidence for not eating meat lies upon. And if that's it, that lies on pretty shaky ground because there's lots of epidemiological, or I should say anthropological data supporting that many centuries, many thousands and thousands of years, people have been eating these healthy animal products. And my biggest thing is we have to differentiate, is it full of chemicals, is it full of junk, or feedlot animals, because I don't support that. But I do support healthy animal products, grass-fed meats, healthy chickens, healthy eggs, in an open environment, cage-free, all of that, because when an animal is healthier, it's going to produce healthier food. You cannot extract health from an unhealthy animal. So it's important that we give our animals as much love, health, air, as good of a life as possible, and then have one bad day. And that's part of the circle of life. And then we take their energy and nutrients and we use it to rebuild ourselves. And one day we'll lie down for a slumber and our body will go back into the ground. And that's the circle of life. So just differentiating, looking at the study here, I hope everyone has a good view on my opinion, and hopefully it makes sense to everyone here. Thanks. Have a great day.